those red and blue shit I'm talking about. The fire and ice that they make. That's the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm telling you. Probably fire desire. That is hate.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
That's the pattern, though. Republicans set shit on fire. Democrats come back to you and say, "What do you desire?" She was right about that.
Oh, no. Right now, that's in my head.
You burned me. Whoa.
That is a really good song.
You burned me. You burned me. Why would he do that?
Hey, watch that link. The link that I just put in TikTok. What? Why? That's the meter that they said. That's what we was talking about. Like, why is it 360?
Exactly. That's all. When you did that shit,
This is the first time I'm watching it. Why is it 360? This is interesting. You know, I've been playing videos about Edgar. The first time I went about Edgar yesterday. And then the other dude, Chris Bledsoe, that I've been telling y'all about this one because of his predictions in 2012 about this lady October about these orbs gonna start popping up. And you see Israel and Iran shooting missiles at each other. So it's like, how the fuck did he predict this shit all the way in 2012? These orbs gonna start popping up when Israel and Iran start fighting with these missiles. Like, this is crazy. Two niggas with the same prediction in the same year. Yeah. It's looking like 2026 gonna be that year, man. We can start something crazy. Because that shit is not a meteor, bro. I don't care what the news is saying. That shit's going. That's just a 3.6, man.
that's not.
That's just, I don't even know if that's a missile. Cause I don't know what. That's
So
gotta
you
be.
think that is something done with our shot? Like if you're bringing up, oh, it's just us doing it to us, so to speak. Is that what you think that is? Or you don't think it's anything coming from outside of the firmament? It's all within the firmament, and that's just something.
Maybe
some technology that they've circled around.
I think so. I think we live on top of dimensions. Like we live in a multi-dimensional world. So there's dimensional tropics. It's not something that's outside of us. It's something that's within our own space that we can't see. And I feel like as the veil drops and drops and drops, like the snowboard veil, that shit gone, we'll be able to see more of these goddamn orbs that's been popping up and shit like that in different cities and stuff. So I think that's what we're seeing, bro. We're gonna see more and more of this shit as the days go on, and I think that's why Trump got to release the alien files in a couple of months, because all of this shit is happening all at the same time. So they gotta drop that shit, bro. Gotta drop that shit. So
Hey, it was a meteor.
Meteors don't exist.
No, it was a meteor on February 11th.
he said it on what?
February 11th, it was one too, and I was wondering if y'all think they connected.
Where?
In Ohio.
It's been like 8 in the last week.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah.
Why is there so many in Ohio?
If y'all thought they was connected.
No, here's the thing,
It was
man.
Texas.
I was trying to say this yesterday, man.
The one yesterday was in Texas, man. And Ohio.
But they said 3 states felt it, though. They said 3 states felt the shake from the other day.
Meteors are not uncommon. They're actually quite common.
Did you watch War Machine, G. Ellis?
No, that's what a shooting star is. Shooting star.
But gee, did you see how it moved though? It took a whole other flight pattern. In the midst of it, crashed into the ground.
No. Yeah.
It looks like it burned up to me. Sorry.
No, bro, not that video.
Nobody else feels like it's not telling us that we're on the
This social media, I don't believe that thing like.
Transformers is still in the land, bro. Transformers is still in the land. Niggas want to laugh, but listen, I can see it, man. I'm gonna tell you something. an existential threat, war would not exist on planet Earth. Every fucking missile that every major country owns will be pointed towards the sky, waiting for this invasion. Why would we occupy with war and killing each other, and then if this is real information, then an alien invasion happened, then kill everybody.
I think
the whole time we all knew.
I think that's gonna. You remember the FBI put out that drone shit on the West Coast and said, yeah, watch the West Coast, Iranian bomb. So look, bro, I've been talking about West Coast Golden Gate Bridge destroyed for a minute.
And the guy who bought that building.
Yeah, that too. So I've been saying that the West Coast can get attacked for a minute before this Iran war started. I've been on it because I know the script. This is the script. They have to finish this play out, bro. It's really also
Media taking some West Coast.
Dude, have you seen the fuck? Oh my god, I gotta go back and watch this another movie where a fucking meteor hit as well. And it's also another meteor called Apophis that was supposed to hit in 2029 or some shit. The Apollyon Apophis meteor. But like I said, I don't believe in meteors and this stuff like that. I do not believe in that shit because that shit cannot come from like brother Eric Lesson. I mean,
Wait, they don't say missiles.
that these are. No, I believe in the missiles, but I don't believe in meteors and asteroids. My bad. Because that's just not space. I don't believe in space as they tell us it is. I don't believe what they tell us it is. So basically, these meteors are orbs. This is also orbs. I remember last year it was a big ass orb invasion in New York, Jersey, from the East Coast, bro. Hella fucking orbs and drones and shit was being spotted all around the state, bro. Literally everywhere.
Exactly.
That shit just went up into the air.
That was 24 last year.
Okay, it was happening last year, towards the beginning of last year, and 24 too. So I'm like, bro, everybody forgot about the drones in New York. Everybody forgot about the shit. Even just a few months ago, they said it was fucking UFOs underwater on the whole East Coast, bro. UFO water just sitting in a plot. What are they waiting for underwater? So they let you know that.
That means flying.
No, they said it's UFOs underwater that shit on the East Coast. So all the way down Florida, bro. Hello, UFOs.
No, RJ, what he means is UFO stands for unidentified flying object.
Well, UAPs.
Yeah.
UAPs underwater there. So fuck it. Whatever the fuck is underwater, they don't know what the fuck that shit is. They say that shit extraterrestrial. So I think it's another extraterrestrial race that's here that we can't see. Man, low-key can't see.
Did it say underwater or UAPs or UFOs went underwater?
No, they said they're underwater, like in base. So I'm gonna get the direct link and post it in the chat. Hold on, let me get it right now.
Where I could imagine.
These people, let's help them out.
I was gonna say I could imagine. I'm thinking from the military-industrial complex perspective. If I've already perfected the whole idea of aircraft, jets, and submarines, right? Eventually, wouldn't I want to get to a point where I can create a vehicle that can do both? They can go in the water and carry out an attack, or come out of the water and carry out an aerial attack if necessary. Why wouldn't I work on something like that? Not only that, but mind you, every time they spoke about these orbs with drones, they said that they always went to a nuclear base, a nuclear facility where they had weapons, and deactivated the nuclear missiles. I'm telling y'all, this is what I believe. I honestly believe that they're going to use an orb or a drone, something that they claim is outer-worldly, to carry out an attack on a foreign adversary, probably a major country like Russia or China. And because they've already pre-programmed the world to believe that they have no idea what these things are, they won't have to take accountability or accept responsibility behind it, which would confuse everybody. Well, shit, they're not going to attack it. But what's going? You know what I'm saying? I think they're just trying to put the world in a state of shock and make it seem like they have no idea what's going on, but they know. We've been spending all this money every year for almost 30 years straight, and you think it really just been going to jets, tanks, and maintenance? Nah. That one lady said we spent what? He said we got 170 underground bases. Some of them even go under the ocean. And they started this project in 1985, and they're interconnected with highways. They have fake skies and waterways and all of that. What you think they down there really working on? Just regular missiles and just regular shit with $1 trillion, basically a blank check. The military-industrial complex has a blank check.
I just like so look. They call unidentified submersible objects USOs. So these like, so there's nothing flying here. This is something that's in the water. Like they should be like a motherfucking submarine or some shit. I don't know that they got that's underwater. So they calling these little things, these UFOs that be underwater USOs.
There you go. That's what GL's was trying to point out.
Yeah, so they call it USOs. They want the proper.
Oh, I knew that. I was just letting you know that it's not flying.
Why ain't you just say it? USOs. Okay, correct me.
Those terms are used to confuse us, but it's telling us the truth when you read it. When they say unidentified, it doesn't mean that it's not from this world. It just means that you don't know what it is. You cannot identify it. It's simple as that. So you will call it a UFO, a UAP, or a USO. But either way it goes, it does not mean that they don't know what it is. It's just your job to tell you that they don't know what it is. It's never been the military job to tell you about a top secret project. Never. They're going to always tell you, oh, look at that shit. Look at that robot dancing in the sky. They're going to be like, that's an alien. You're going to be like, yeah. They're going to say, y'all, we could never do nothing like that. No, we can't. No, you're right. Not us. That's how they get you. Motherfuckers talking about they talking to aliens, asking aliens, who are you? You think someone, like, if your brain really, like, your imagination, if you think outside of the sphere, fuck the box, why would they even know what a who means, or whose, or they, those, or understand me? They would probably look at you the same way an animal would when you talk. Turn their head sideways, like, they might take it offensive. They might think you're ready to kill them at any moment. Like, you have to really understand this. So when they tell you that they communicate with another species of whatever, living beings, I'm like, well, unless those things are similar to human beings, I don't want to hear it. Outer space is pitch black. I don't want to hear it. No. And then how was it that if a missile come into the atmosphere, after leaving the atmosphere coming back in, because that's what ICBMs do, you can track it and shoot it down. But if a meteor comes in, which is bigger than a missile, you can't track it. You didn't see it before to give us a warning, nor you can't shoot it down. Stop it.
Well, you can track meteors. They show up on radar.
If you can't track a meteor and stop it, then you can't track a missile and stop it.
They show up on radar.
Yeah, but my thing is, if you have,
why did this meteor show up on radar in Ohio?
Who said it didn't?
No, it didn't.
It did. NASA said it showed up on their radar.
So NASA said that it came on their radar.
Where are you getting that it didn't happen? It didn't show up on radar, though.
I'm saying because I hear any news,
So that
it's showing up on radar.
Okay.
So if you can provide any news, I'd like to see that. Because usually, if it's something finna come in our radar, then they should let us know that something is approaching. Like, what's that movie? When they left the fucking world, an asteroid was coming and they left. Look up. Don't look up. Yeah. So, and don't look up, or don't that movie, they left the fucking plane, saw something was coming. And it blew up the whole fucking earth. So,
RJ, damn. Listen, that's crazy. Just said it because I was just thinking like, yo, between either work behind Civil War and don't look up, especially don't look up. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I think they in a bunkers right now, man. Getting ready, bro. This is the year for the exposure of these aliens, man. It's over with, bro. This is the end of the. Remember, we're finna go into the 250 years of the U.S., bro. 250 years marks the ending 250 years for the San Francisco 2s, 250 years for the Illuminati 2. All this 1776 shit, man. It's coming to an end for this empire, man. They speak about the 400 years in the Bible too. Shit, I got a image of the. Oh, you found it? Yeah. What do you say? Like, where I can find them? I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna put it in chat. There you go. I believe there was a report that NASA also, and I mean, that showed up on radar. Hold on, I'm talking about it before it broke up. Like,
that's what I was about to say.
Before, nigga, you get some shit that's on Earth. I'm talking about some shit that's in space. Why the fuck they can't see this meteor coming from space to Earth to Ohio? The rocks there are in space? Yes, the rocks that's coming from space that come down to Earth. Well, I'm sorry, but you don't believe in rocks in space, so. Yeah, no, so exactly. So they got satellites in space. So so I'm saying, I'm taking your routes, just believing in shit. Why was they able to see that rock that was in space, fall down from space, go to Earth, go all the way down to Ohio, and then split up? They didn't see that.
Yeah, because I'm thinking at the least, even if it's not going to harm nobody.
Because this could harm people.
You know what I mean? Like, just the breaking news, not everybody report.
Like, damn, they didn't even say that. Like, yeah, this could potentially.
We got some shit coming in our atmosphere. Don't be scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they didn't put out no warnings. This could potentially hurt people. This potentially might cause a loud boom. Don't panic if you hear a loud boom. They didn't say none of that shit, nigga. They just said, they didn't even say no warnings, nigga. No warnings at all. No, this is in our radar. No, you gonna hear a loud boom. Don't panic. Nigga, they didn't say none of that shit.
Hey, look, like military bases, Ohio or anywhere else.
Yeah, I just said that one military base is like Area 51, bro. I forgot what it's called, but meteors fall all the time. Okay, bro.
Yeah.
So you don't believe in
because you don't believe in them. Okay, I got you. They don't because you don't believe in them.
Because they would have told us that this meteor was.
Wait, I understand, right? Media's for all the time, right? So why they reporting these? I haven't heard like media people reporting like this. This is some kind of like extravagant type media that hit something. So why they reporting this shit? Shit is hitting nothing. It's fell somewhere. What's the big report?
Because they got caught on camera by everybody's fucking. Because everybody has cameras outside of their houses and shit now. So like, you know that.
What does that mean? That don't mean that's for fucking. Hold on.
Nah, I hear you. So people got cameras, right? You're saying like it just said 8 fell. So why do people know 8 fell? Like it's like all 8 fell in areas where people had cameras. I'm trying to figure out why they were reporting on the media. Shit, maybe.
And like Nick said in the chat, wherever the fragments that the asteroids that's been hitting over this past week is worth a lot of money. That's probably why they don't want to say nothing. Let's say if it is asteroids and it is real, right? They don't want to tell you because then you might track it personally as a civilian and try to retrieve it. That's a possibility. And I'm only going this route because Chuck was right earlier. You got to think of everything now. You don't know because you don't know. But I feel like NASA should be telling us when asteroids are entering the atmosphere because y'all know it, y'all see it, y'all already preconditioned us to try to make us believe that aliens are real. Y'all know we at war. So to keep everybody cool, calm, and collected, why not say, hey guys, around 2 or 3 o'clock p.m., this is going, you know what I'm saying? And then people know expect what to see, you know what I'm saying? That don't even trip.
And then remember,
be silent about it, and then you speak about it afterwards and say a 17,000-pound asteroid crashed in Ohio. We like, how do you know us? How do you know? I know y'all use math, but I'm still sticking in my head like, so you got the nerve to report all this detailed information afterwards. And people's electricity was knocked out behind this. There's still some people without electricity right now. So it definitely affected some people. It didn't kill anybody or harm anyone, at least from what we know, because it landed in the countryside of Ohio. So we don't know if it hit somebody or affected something, honestly, as far as life or anything like that.
The fact is, they don't want to tell us where it landed or if they even are.
And we had an earthquake a week prior Ohio.
So do you know about it's the Lead Wright Patterson, Ohio base, retired one. Nah, I don't think it's retired, but it's the military base. That's in. Do you know the one that's in Patterson? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Hold on.
Nah, I'm gonna just say they said that's like a lot of conspiracy theories. You gotta look that shit up, man. 'Cause there's a lot of conspiracy theories about that military base. They say that that's the real Area 51 is the most secretive military base damn near in the U.S., bro. So there's a lot of UFOs in that area.
And hold on, next. So you said y'all lost power, but didn't report where it landed. You don't think they shut off the power so people wouldn't see the shit where it landed or not be able to reach it type shit? Like, I don't see how y'all lost power. Because think about it, that shit had hit like a plant or some shit. They would have told y'all, we hit the plant, copy the plans. We're gonna be without power for a little bit, but it just landed in some random place and everybody lost power type shit. I kind of feel like they turned that shit off first. Just my opinion. But y'all don't see if it was a missile or a meteor type shit.
It's possible. I mean, they caught that meteor on camera, but that earthquake, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, Murph. The last week been crazy. We had hot ass weather. We experienced all 4 seasons within 7 days. An earthquake and a meteor strike. That's just, and then what RJ is saying about the base, and you know how sometimes I'm like, yo, people be thinking it's nothing in Ohio, and that's why people overlook it in here. That could be the play this whole time. That ideology to make people think that this area shit is nothing up here. Don't come here. Because they do got some extra shit going on up here. There's a lot of countryside in Ohio. When you go outside of Cleveland, the main cities you hear about, most of Ohio was country for real, like. So, and I've never seen that base. I don't even know where the fuck it's at, but I believe RJ on that.
It's he put it. It's like
everybody's eyes is on Area 51. Think about it. When you make a base, like something like Area 51, so everybody's eyes could be on it to be so focused on one area and thinking this is where it's at. This is where it happened. And in reality, it's not. It's somewhere completely.
Also, that narrative about Ohio was lovely because it's actually listed as like one of the top states for Fortune 500 and 1,000 companies. So it's interesting that there's these narratives. It's just cornfield. It's like, no, a lot of money in Ohio for sure.
That's a fact. Ohio been broke forever, but for somehow they keep upgrading this motherfucker.
Ohio been broke, bro. Ohio is the home of Procter and Gamble, man.
I'm already knowing, bro, but I'm saying like the shit, like culturally speaking, like the average Ohioan for a long time was always told we lived in broke city. You know what I'm saying? But as we get older, you steady see shit being split, the new shit, but they steady tell you, hey man, there's nothing going on. We really broke. You know what I'm saying? Cause you're like, I mean, we got a lot of buildings that's being built. They're like, yeah,
hey, yo, next. This shit called Predison. It's called Wright Predison, the Air Force Base in Greenville.
I heard of Patterson Air Force Base. I've heard of that.
So look, I'm doing research. This shit crazy. They did the Project Blue Book. This is where it says it's a central hub in the U.S. UFO lore, largely because it hosted Project Blue Book, the Air Force official UFO investigation unit from 1952 to 1969. This base is frequently linked to conspiracy theories alleging storage of Roswell alien debris and bodies. What the fuck? Yo, it's gonna go down the rabbit hole about Ohio. This is probably why all these goddamn shit is happening. Didn't that train derailment happen in Ohio too?
Yep.
Yeah.
In Palestine. In Palestine.
That shit crazy.
They literally call Ohio the heart of the nation. Not just for fun, because it's also shaped like a heart when you look at it. They literally call it the heart of the nation. And Ohio, Michigan, all the surrounded the Great Lakes. Like, and if you think about it, you got the Great Lakes right here. You got access to fresh water. It probably is a lot of shit in the Midwest states, honestly. And they get everybody focused on one part of the country when really it's probably a whole other region. I might end up leaving. Hold on.
And they saying that this Air Force also, if y'all remember the Roswell incident, they saying that place in Ohio, that Air Force base, has the remaining parts of that Roswell incident. So maybe these aliens, I don't know, man. They definitely coming back to something.
I know this. I had this whole conspiracy shit. The seed planted in my head since I was a child. When I was living in West 7 Projects, I saw an orb. I'll never forget it. I saw an orb. So when I seen them, when that shit happened, like last year, the year before that, it took me back to my childhood morning. And I was looking out that project window. Our shit used to open up like you have to push it out and hold it up because it comes down. I never forget I had put it open and put a ruler right there so it could stay open. And went downstairs, got something, came back up to the room, and I looked in the sky and I seen what I thought was maybe the sun. I'm like, no, that's not the sun. Right? Oh, it's rising over there. So I'm looking, and after I made that, that correlation, like the sun ain't rising, I locked eyes with it, and I promise you, it was something in my mind telling me, if you look away, you won't see it again. And so I was locked on it for a minute, daring myself, like, bro, you gonna look away. And so I eventually looked away. When I looked away, I just turned my head to the right and looked back, it was gone. Now, I never forget, I kept blinking real hard. I kept looking the left, back to the window, right, back to the window, thinking, like, where's it at? It's gonna pop back up. It never popped back up in the sky. So, who knows? They've probably been doing a lot of shit here in Ohio for real on the low. And, we just don't know. After that orb shit happened just like a year or two ago, like I look in the sky a lot more than I used to, and I really be hyper focused on shit. Like, and I'll be like noticing, like, yo, that's not a civilian aircraft. There's something moving all the way up there. You can just look all, you know what I'm saying? Lock eyes with it. Like, yo, something is moving. Look, something moving right there. I'm just locking eyes, like, yo, hold on. Is there like military applications being carried out? Are those satellites that I can see clearly? What is that?
Man, boy, you wouldn't believe the shit I be seeing up there, bro. It's so hard to catch on film. That's why I don't talk about it. People don't believe it until you show it to them. But man, I told y'all, bro, look up. The sky is different, bro. There's shit up there. I be like, what the fuck? Like, I'm talking about, the metallic fields and shit. I be seeing them shits, bro. Like, it's so weird. I be trying to catch them shits on camera. It's hard, bro. They move around a lot. They move fast. One time I was recording the clouds, watching the sun pass through. I was recording the two suns type shit, and I see like two spheres of like rising to the cloud, bro. I thought I caught it on camera, but when I went back, I couldn't find it. I actually caught one on camera, but it's hard to see. You have to actually, it's one of those things. If you don't see with your bare eyes and go back and look at film, you can't. It's like, oh, it's right there, but nobody else gonna see what I'm talking about. Like, no, it's just a cloud. Like, bro, that's not the cloud, bro. Like, I saw it with my own eyes, type shit. But it went up so fast, people don't believe it. So I'm trying to catch a clearer video or something. So people be like, oh shit, I see what you're talking about. That shit, but there's shit up there, bro.
Yeah, I can confirm what Smurf said. I remember that nigga sent me that shit through WhatsApp.
They definitely lying about something for sure, because back to the asteroid thing. How is it that you constantly detecting moving objects throughout outer space with these satellites all the time? When I seen the footage of the eclipse from NASA's website, somebody actually dropped a link in here that I remember being here. Like, man, why they don't never have a camera set up in outer space so we can see the eclipse? clips of this shit real, whatever. And somebody dropped a link, like they actually do. So I went on their website and I'm like, yo, wait, outer space is really pitch black. Like that ain't no lie. It's black as fuck out there. Why the fuck did we see something totally different from the ground? It looks like outer space is lit up. Like it's bright as shit out there, but it's dark and you guys can't see anything. How do you fuck do you be seeing these meteors?
Astronauts said that they actually see it's so much light from the sun that they can't see. So I'm confused. Not by you, but what's being said.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, what if them other planets is like other lands on the other side of the ice wall?
I always wonder, what if the stars in the sky is like spirits?
I thought that too. I thought like, what if every time somebody, I said the other day, what if every time somebody passes away, like what if that is outer space? What if all of this would have consisted of every planet and star is a spirit that can reside in the heavens in whatever form or fashion. The spirit is in before or after it leaves the body after death.
Before it come back. That's what I think. I think like, what's the movie Soul? They kind of touch on that when they be in the Beyond or whatever. I think that we see the stars, but I don't think they stay there. I think that's just like the transition. That's why they be flickering and moving and doing certain stuff. I think like when it's a shooting star, I think that's them coming back down.
What if that's? I don't know. That's probably. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This is crazy, man.
Hold on, I'm about to cook real quick. So, what if you live a toxic, dangerous, crazy lifestyle, and so when you pass away, you become a planet of them same features, like Mars or Pluto or Uranus, right? Where it's like, yo, we can't land on that planet, on that plane, because it's so toxic. It's so right, you know what I'm saying? So what if that keeps happening? That's why outer space is so expansive and it keeps growing. And it's only so many planets like Earth because those are the humans that actually passed away that did the right things in their life. So they were able to turn into a plane or a planet that's able to accommodate life. I don't know. I'm just talking.
All I know is if them mountains, them petrified mountains, is really giants, bro. And those volcanoes is dragons and shit too, bro. Petrified. Then this Earth is really bigger than what they tell us it is, bro. The planets that they telling us is planets could be on the lands that's on the outside of the ice wall. As above, so you know, this is an infinite plane. I don't think this is just a globe. I think it's infinite. Not saying it's a globe. I mean, a flat Earth or anything. I'm just saying it's infinite. It goes. Because these are huge. Do y'all know about the Garden of Eden and the big ass tree that was once here and got cut the fuck down and all types of shit? Ever since then, humanity been on the decline. Ever since that happened, so I don't know, man. I think that, yeah, man, them big ass giants, big ass dragons, bro, this shit gotta be big. What the fuck they telling us it is, bro?
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, you just gotta look at things for what they are, man. I mean, the older you get, the more you start to not believe in shit. You start to realize that it ain't what it is, especially when you look up. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're a flat earth person, you just believe that we're on this saucer, whatever it is, and you know what I mean, that space doesn't mean anything to you, but yeah, you know what I mean, like, we really don't know. We don't know at all.
movie start off with meteors and stuff like that hitting, and then shit just get crazy like War Machine? Anybody know? I'm gonna go watch all them bitches.
I know. What's that? The Day After Tomorrow involved in meteor strike. Day After Tomorrow. That's when New York got affected by it. It was another one where a meteor.
What happened in the Book of Eli? Why was they in an apocalyptic type of world? Or dystopian type of what happened? I don't remember. That's crazy. That's probably the main point of the movie, but shit, too much.
In the book of Eli, they don't really make reference. They make reference to the event. That's how they refer to it in the movie, the event. After the event, before the event, but that's what the event is. And if you notice the atmosphere is kind of reddish. If you notice the whole hue throughout the entire movie, everything's super cloudy all the time.
And then meteor or something that happened, right? Or something that occurred. Yeah.
I mean, y'all ever seen I'm sure y'all have seen like Constantine, Keanu Reeves, not the one that they had for the cinema. Constantine is a similar thing like that too.
Yes, they're getting ready to do Constantine too.
I've been waiting for that shit.
Well, it's been green lighted, so they're getting ready to start.
Have y'all ever seen Southland Tales? Y'all got it's one of The Rock's earlier movies, or a movie that was early in his career. It's him and Sean William Scott. They're the main characters, but y'all have it.
Can you send it in the back channel? Because we be talking and stuff, and somebody will put it in this chat, and then I'll forget or something. Send it in the back channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Thank you. I mean, y'all quiet. I could ask all the questions and start a pot, or I could wait. I mean,
shit.
Social media, right? People say they got it for different reasons or whatever. I was reading something that was very interesting, and I want to know what your thoughts are. So somebody basically was like, nobody in a relationship, in short, basically should be posting pictures, like full body pictures and stuff. They basically said any picture posting is seeking attention. Because why else are you posting? So y'all want to address that?
Let's go.
Girl, fuck them. Motion that.
Hey, Camille, I actually don't post because I don't like too much attention, and that was before social media was ever a thing. So
in order to combat this, let's go down the list of reasons why people interact and engage. Some people, I think, engage because they want to communicate with their friends and family, and then, but when we post, don't we want attention or a response from people?
Yes and no, but I would say more attention seeking would be, okay, if I take a picture and my ass is poked out and I'm doing that specifically to post that picture so I can get likes and follows. At the end of the day, that's different than me just posting a picture because I like my outfit.
Okay, I like this for you, especially for you because you're a very beautiful lady. So let's say you post like you got a dress and it's fitting, but it ain't like revealing or nothing, and you're very pretty, and you post a full body picture of you or whatever, or even your PTR, your AI PTR, it was cute. Is it for attention, or you just was feeling yourself, and then you feeling yourself and you showing everybody what you want them to say? That's what the post said, by the way, not me.
Feeling yourself, and to be honest, I don't really think people really care what people got to say about their pictures. Yeah, okay, it's good to like, it's good for people to be like, oh my God, you're so pretty, you're beautiful, whatever, whatnot. But at the end of the day, when people say that on my post, I could care less. I don't even really respond because what the fuck I'm gonna say? Thank you.
But look though, if you post it and you only get 2 to 5 likes per post, the average person might stop after a while.
No, some people post on private pages.
She knows from personal experience. She don't give a fuck. 2, 3, she still posted.
I think it's okay to a certain extent to post because I don't think modern day people technically have photo albums unless it's something like a hobby or craft. I really like when I go to my friends' houses, I don't see really photo albums. So I feel like social media is like just a new age of like your photo album, and you pick and choose what you want to share with people. I don't have any family members posted, not even my child. It's just my personal page to document whatever I feel like posting, and then I have a business. So if I decide to post some marketing stuff, I have a marketing page for that. So I feel like you can separate the two. You can have a private life and you can have a, open to the public. You share what you want to share with. But I feel like you would put everything on social media, location, vacations, everything. And I feel like there needs to be some mystery to people. Like I don't need to know your damn whereabouts everywhere you go.
I agree. I'm looking at the statistics for this. And the reasons that people expressed in terms of why they post, generally speaking, 61% of people said that they mainly post to share interesting things. 43% said to share important things, and then about 40% also said to share funny things. But when it comes specifically to like posting themselves, like selfies and pictures of themselves, in terms of motives for selfies, a large study found 4 main motives for posting them, and they are attention seeking, communication, archiving memories, and entertainment. Then, in terms of self-esteem and connection, another study identified 3 main motives for posting one's own pictures, which are boosting self-esteem, maintaining social contacts, and preserving or exchanging information. And the last one is validation. Active, self-reputational posting is strongly tied to attention seeking and fear of missing out, with likes and comments reinforcing the behavior.
Oh, I'm so happy you were here when I asked the question, Goldie. I wanted to make sure I asked that when you were here, but I forgot to check and see if you was here when I actually asked. But I'm glad you're here because I knew you were gonna ask some data and psychology to this.
But you was reading, Goldie. That sounded like you was explaining me, baby.
Oh, excuse me. These are different research studies just looking at why people post selfies. These are different publications from the Institute of Health. But I can post them in the chat if you like them. But yeah, seems like people mainly post about themselves to create a positive image of themselves and also influence how other people see them. But then I feel like I like the article that this is based when I look this up because I feel like it gives the full variety. It's not just like, oh, when people are just like narcissistic or something, when people just care about themselves and egotistical. And then a lot of the time on social media, we aren't even, well, at least for me, like I'm not posting myself. I'm like reposting things, sharing information, posting that. Like I'm not really posting myself. I'm sharing things and whatnot, or sending memes or gifts and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of people do that. But there are also people who still post for validation or attention seeking. So two things can exist, very different things at the same time, and can explain certain things. There can be more than one motive.
Nice.
I know people out here that post all day long. They post themselves looking like crackheads all the time, and they just love posting themselves.
I like posting.
Hey, Ray, you right about that.
Like, I'm trying to post people a good life. Like, when I post, a lot of my post page, it got to do with Donald Trump and him and himself and better.
I bet it do.
Making the brand look good. So that's why I feel like sometimes you can
what's wrong with this motherfucker?
certain people
What's wrong with this?
that a lot of people don't see the same light that I see in him. So I try to broadcast that.
God damn.
This nigga said my page is dedicated to Trump.
Public service announcement. Don't let this
distract you from the fact that the waiting room at Book Club tonight at
I'm sorry, who's having a book club tonight? What?
Yeah, it's not no purpose.
You should get up an hour early because we're still having karaoke. Oh, another piece. Don't let this distract you from the fact that Sinners is a musical. In the book, we are reading King of the Jews, my. Ooh.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that beautiful announcement, because it is a musical.
Camille, please.
Really,
Camille been a real one. Camille been a real one.
Google saying now, so y'all can shut up. Google said it, so it's real.
We need to make
Is Netanyahu really dead? Like,
was that Fisher? His name Fisher. Was that Fisher? That was not Fisher.
Oh, this is alright. Correct at all.
What did you do to my brother?
Well, shut up, man. Oh, it's pissing me off.
Did you copyright our mantra?
No, never blew a piece.
I thought Hillary's dead after they dragged their ass in that
You
car.
what?
I told y'all niggas to come for your spot, but I need a beat now.
Oh, you good, man.
Smart.
I want to talk about that.
Don't do that. Don't be emotional, bro. Fuck that nigga.
Yeah, what happened to you? You cap. You did a good job last night, RJ, though, with the verses.
I think people need to make that like an annual thing, like how we do good game nights.
Annual. He did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we all next March.
Annuals every year.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like quarterly or
Every
like 2. Let's say like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't hear the fucking bagpipes in the background. What the fuck is going on here?
What I'm listening to.
She watching Game of Thrones.
2 weeks, man. That shit was raw. Still going back to this one of them old ass songs. It's like a Nicolostic type of feeling, energy type of feeling, because I ain't heard some of them songs in a minute. And it was like, seeing them again was kind of refreshing in a way. So
yeah, that Phantom one you played, it definitely brought back memories.
It brought back some childhood memories. Yeah, your dad had a child. That's what I was kind of doing. I already picked some old ass legend shit. I'm really trying to hit childhood memories, man. That's what I feel like I would want with, but y'all won't judge.
See, where you kind of went left at is you were relying on your childhood memories. You gotta remember
a lot of people rushing.
Like they kind of up there.
A lot of people were singing along.
Look, I didn't even know what the fuck the Jeffersons was. Like,
that's me. I didn't know what it was either. But the songs that I played was more me and you. When you should have known them songs that I was playing, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm looking up songs we grew up.
That's how you lost. There's 2 people in there.
Nah, you had help.
Nah, I won. I still won. I still got the screenshot.
That's
Yeah, Q got the screenshot.
Wait, you had a whole other screenshot where.
Oh, were you here when they were pulling up on the screen?
Yeah, man. Q sent me a screenshot. Did you see the screen? Let me make the
I have
screenshot
never been up that late since shit. I don't know when, but we will get to
I know what y'all didn't play though. Y'all didn't get to the Jews and the Gracie's corners though. Did anybody play Reading Rainbow?
No.
That would have crushed it. That would have been somebody would have.
No, they didn't play that. Neither did they play Gullah Island. Yeah, that was. I was like, y'all just.
Exactly. I said I got one that would crush, but
our started to.
Yeah, maybe y'all get to do it.
They are very, very young, and they wasn't that serious.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She was choosing songs that she didn't even watch. Like, she didn't watch that shit.
I didn't watch it.
Everybody thinking she cheated, bro. She didn't grow up on that shit. going at me because I was choosing songs that y'all feel like I didn't watch. You're like, RJ ain't watched this shit. You too young. Same thing with her. She was too young too. So people was saying that though. RJ too young to watch some of these songs that he's playing. That's what people kept saying.
That's not a qualifier.
Yeah. Well, people were saying that though. People were saying this is too young to play these
song that you played that I didn't even know. It was some black song. It was the Keenan Pill. I had never seen Keenan Pill. Or Keenan, whatever it is.
It was Keenan Kill. Yeah. I watched that. You never seen that?
No.
Keenan Kill.
I watched Good Burger though.
Good Burger. That's
See? Everybody
about a Good Burger. Yeah, okay, whatever. I guess. But I would like to see like a old head battle. Just a old head.
Yeah, I miss you know what I think? Goldie, they were saying you should go against Art.
Yeah, that would be the way. That'd be a battle. Let's go.
I would definitely throw some Mario coins at y'all for that. I don't give a damn.
That would be fun. But also, I think there needs to be a scene. Because I feel like if the scene was like childhood nostalgia, RJ won. And if it was just like musical Bob Black, musical Bob, something like that, then RJ would win. So I think it's like we need one common theme so we can judge fairly. Because like putting like High School Musical against like, you know what I mean? It's just
originally how it started, it was originally supposed to be just black sitcoms from the 90s. And I just love that. Hey, I thought it started with that shit to music. Yeah, you're right. Because we started off singing Dream Girls, and then the battle just came out. And then we circled back on
SpongeBob SquarePants.
that was such a good roller coaster. Oh my god.
She did my breath that shit took me out. Yo, I was crying.
I completely forgot that it was so loud.
Hey, RJ, you my nigga. Got that ass tap.
Then she came back and tapped your ass with I have nothing.
What that PTR skit time? That PTR skit.
She said she was gonna tap that ass. RJ, what's going on here?
Tiger was so pissed off last night.
I got 13 votes. It was not more than 13 people that voted for Art on that stage.
Well, the first battle, people was like, it really wasn't it was like if the room was fucking with it or not, like if they knew, you know? So it wasn't like this or that. But then I put up the poll just to be funny, and then we just took it serious after that. And I did not.
You took it serious because she was like, y'all make sure y'all vote. I took the poll down. When she took that motherfucker down, I was still up in the lead both times. So shit. You said I won, so I'm gonna take Q words.
You know what?
So I had an opportunity to vote.
Nepotism.
Vote though, but I would say quantitatively you won by the numbers, but qualitatively, based on the reactions of the room, Art won. So both of y'all won. So that's beautiful. That's a good move.
Technically, they did both win. They both won a prize out of the Cracker Jack box to the
Man, that was a seminar.
Nah, man, that's some leftist bullshit. I get a winner.
Man, you weren't even
here. Fuck this shit. I don't give a goddamn. I want somebody to win.
You weren't even here. You weren't even here to vote, so let's go.
Okay.
Actually want somebody to lose. What the type of sportsmanship?
That's why we have those two categories, quantitatively and qualitatively. Someone did lose and someone did win.
What should be the next? What should be the negative? Because honestly, the musical one made me want to watch more musicals. You know, especially after watching Sinners and whatnot. So.
Oh my God! Please. We don't even get too deep because we.
I'm just saying. I'm going to be writing out hotel all year because of that. Because I would definitely be a.
I mean, it was the only musical selection that was done at the Oscars. Like no other music came up except for In Memoriam. Oh, what's your name? Sang to Robert Redford. What's her name? I'm talking about the way we Barbra Streisand. She sung, but there was no other like musical selection from.
Damn, Barbara's still around?
Of course.
Man, I did Barbara a long time ago.
No, but she sang because Robert Redford passed. Robert
Yeah, I know Robert. Yeah, I know he passed.
And he is the one who started the Sun Film Festival, and he also was the producer of Dark Winds, along with George R.R. Martin from Game of Thrones. If anyone hasn't watched Dark Winds, it's a good show. It's on NC Plus or AMC, whatever. It's about Navajo Nation. It's very good. So he was the producer on that, and in one of the episodes, he and George R.R. Martin are in it. So they're very supportive of that. So I thought that was kind of cool. But he just passed away, so she did musical selection to him. But outside of that, there was no other music that was done. The In Memoriam, Barbra Streisand, and Sinners, showing their most musical part.
So wait, so they actually did
Talking about the Oscars,
I didn't know that. Not for the musical, but when they performed, it was the only.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't see the performance. Was it good?
Yeah, because Misty Copeland came out at the end. It was a whole thing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, doing the ballet, right?
Yes, that's correct. In response to Timothy Chalamet, according to Doja Cat, but it's Timothy. And his comments, everything he said about opera and ballet, how it's this, that, and the third. I put all that he was talking to Matthew McConaughey in the chat. I can put it in the chat again for anybody who would like to review that. And so he had used Misty Copeland, not used, but she was part of his promotion for the movie, his movie that was up for an Oscar. And then he said all that slightly, pretty negative stuff about opera and ballet. At least it's to opera and ballet. And so at once she's like, okay. So she came out during the Sinners performance. So you saw all this melanated greatness on stage, and then she comes out and it shows all these different art forms of melanated people. And it was quite lovely. And I can't just say black because there are Asian folks in there too. So I'm just saying that's how I'm using melanated purposefully. But it was all this that came out, and then in the end, she was like the highlight. It was quite lovely. So does that make it a musical? I don't know. They didn't win for musicality. I don't know if the score won. The score, I think it did win, but there was cinematography that won. Michael Biehn won for Best Actor, and Ryan Coogler won for Best Screenplay, not Best Picture, but he still got his own Oscar. So there you go. Recap.
I think y'all were talking. I came back to my phone yesterday. I was talking about the ballet. I think that's probably where y'all got off at.
And just in case, let me say who Misty Copeland is, just to reiterate. She is the first black female lead in the American ballet, which is the ballet of the USA. It's a big, big deal. She was the first one ever to get that position. And Prince was very fond of her protectively, not really shit, but he took had her as his guest to many things because he liked to be supportive of people when they were shining and give them support because it was very difficult. She was fought tooth and nail all along the way. So when she came, and it was just not too long since she's had a hip replacement. That ballet is rough on the body. And so she had a hip replacement, and she still, and it was healing and all that kind of stuff. And she came out and still did her thing.
How's ballet rough?
Missy Copeland.
How the fuck is ballet rough on her body?
Because all of the conditioning that it takes, that's kind of an ignorant statement.
Just go watch a ballet.
My sister grew.
And they have football players going and dance and ballet and stuff. It's what it takes.
I don't know. My sister grew up doing that shit, so I never thought about like that shit.
To do all the stretching, to stand on your toes, to all the lifting. You're kind of,
It's like yoga.
I'm surprised at you.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just
you gotta expand on that. They make football. Well, I would say make, but those football players who go out and do that have better conditioning because they're able to be more flexible, faster, move in different ways. The reason why, and one of the people, Tom Holland, had taken ballet and all that, and one of the reasons why he was able to get Spider-Man over Timothy Chalamet, who put it down. And the thing is, his mom is a ballerina, is in ballet. Timothy Chalamet is, and he still, criticized it, but that's the reason why Tom Holland was able to get Spider-Man because of his background. He was able to do more of the moves, and Timothy Chalamet could not. So you gotta expand a little bit. You gotta be a little bit more open.
Shit, man, but it's more like yoga to me.
Yoga's not off the ground though. That's the thing.
Yeah. He defected, didn't he?
Yes, he ended up defecting. Going back to your point about joint issues, he developed rheumatoid compound joint arthritis, all kinds of stuff. I think he had to get a better replacement.
Yeah, the way they contort, she had to get one. And the thing is, after getting it, she was back on stage. She performed with some kind of fractures, and still went out on stage while her tibia or something crazy was fractured and triple fractured, something, and she still performed. That's mind over body, for real, for real. So it takes a certain determination and power and strength. Just because it's a little bit more graceful. You can't, you're not going out there like Mr. Olympia or Ms. Olympia or power lifting and all that kind of stuff. You gotta, there's power in all kinds of different ways. So expand your mind a little bit.
Like a good way to think about it, a good thing to compare to maybe gymnastics, because they're pretty graceful. The terrain that they have to do what the hell they do. Really, most people don't even try that. But also, I don't know if you guys can't this out right now, but I saw a post saying that Ryan Cooper and Ludwig Göransson, I said that right, but they were roommates in college.
Yeah, when they went to USC, I saw it when they went to USC for grad school. Yep, but that means that Cooper is quite loyal. Because his wife was the one who bought him the computer. So he's had these relationships, and people he came up with, that's who he kind of sticks with. I kind of like that, actually.
I love that, but you know who also does that I love? Tyler Perry. Like, these directors keep the same people and use them over and over and work with them and utilize them and collaborate them so much. I love that. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was like, yes, definitely, they're roommates. But yeah, he also won for Sinners. He got best original score.
Yeah, so I said, okay, thank you.
Ludwig is that guy though, for real.
Ludwig is freaking amazing.
Bruh, I've known about Bro since 2012 now. You know who I know him from? Childish Gambino. He was a producer for him, some early composition, stuff like that. And this is all from the same mixtape that the RZA on it, right? So I'm thinking dude's gonna be somebody special. And by the time you fast forward now, not only did he get the work for Sinners and stuff like that, but this man scored Tenet as well, or did the soundtrack for them. So it's crazy to see, most people would be like, oh, you have to walk into all these crazy different rooms. You see people, maybe not in the same case as Ryan Coogler, because Childish Gambino is a director as well, but you look at people working across, embracing their network. That's cool as fuck. When I see that same post, I was just like, damn, because thinking about when you show up for people at a small stage, imagine being able to celebrate that.
Yeah, they met in 2007. That's when they first met at USC 2007.
Damn.
And
they were in grad school for film.
And I just love that they both won it on the same night. Imagine how special that is for the same project. That, yeah, he is very loyal. But he's done a lot. I still want to say some of the scores he's done. Sinners, Oppenheimer, Wakanda Forever, Turning Red, which is my favorite Disney movie. Tenet, Creed 2, Venom, Death
See it. They're doing their thing.
Everything.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
No, it's literally called everything. This is the one with the black girl and the white boy. It's a different thing.
Okay.
That part of international fashion, central intelligence, free. Oh my God, we're the Millers, Fruitvale Station, of course, with Michael B. Jordan.
He won the Golden Globe too.
Well deserved, man. I mean, and the score for Black Panther, I think I told you guys about this time when, like, here in Chicago, they had it live, like, they played the movie and they had the live orchestra play it. That score, bro, is, oh my God. Like, the end in the movie was great, but hearing the actual instrument, the people who play the actual instrument play it in front of you, bro, oh my God. I will never forget that experience, ever. Also, there's a lot of experiences like that are coming to a lot of cities. So if you like certain movies and you want to hear the score live, I think they did it for like the Batman and a bunch of other great scores as well. And they've also been doing it more for like animated stuff too. So we should look for those things if you like that stuff.
I was gonna talk about that ballet thing for a second though, but imagine playing basketball your whole life with like Chuck Taylors but no gum sole, essentially, and like you break those shoes in so they have even more give than those shoes would have. Like imagine doing that all day, jumping as high as you can to land back on your feet in a split second. Like you gotta put some respect on all athletic movements.
It just sucks when you get older. You start feeling all the damn defects that you did to your body while you were young, especially as a dancer or as an athlete. You don't recover the same, honey.
Said I'll gladly take 2 brand new knees back if I could.
Yeah, he was talking about eating whale sperm to live 200 years.
What the fuck? Debbie, what? I missed it? Who said that?
Oh, you missed it. That was last night.
He would suck a whale's long sperm that's 6 to 8 feet, that weighs 100 pounds, get his sperm out, and 200 years. Yes, he did.
Please be yourself, man. Is this true?
200 years, bro. Cool. 200 years? You niggas ain't gonna be around climbing.
Whale sperm.
Bro, everybody wants to be dead by then, but you'll still have sucked that whale.
Hey, listen, and I got to live to fucking speak about it. Goddamn right.
That's wild. No pun intended.
Yeah, you built different.
Hell yeah. My dad tried to get a nut, he got another.
Yeah, the river was kind of shook us with that yesterday. We was like, what? He's like, it's 200 more years. Nobody will be around to know. I'm like, okay.
I mean, you gotta think the benefits, you know. By then, there'll be interplanetary. I won't be on it. I won't even be on Earth anymore. Shit, when you come to think about it that way. And when they asked me, hey man, how you been able to live this long?
What you gonna say?
I sucked the whale's penis as well.
Whale sperm. 12 ounces of whale sperm. And I look at them and tell them, I'll ask them the following. Has life ever made you feel like you've been swallowed?
Have you been swallowed?
You recently been swallowed.
Real Antichrist be happier. I tell you that. will be back more after.
Yeah, he did. Right after the chat messages. Yeah, right after messages. Yo, can somebody explain what the fuck they did to the chat? Why do I keep seeing these messages telling me that somebody new joined
That's been a
Clubhouse?
new update, man. That shit is
Yeah.
annoying.
They're promoting engagement. They want you to learn what they're doing so you can add them. And then they're putting all this crap talking about, I think you'll like this club. Like,
Yeah, join this house. I'm like, no, nigga, come on. Right.
Also, to go back to the age, not the whale sperm part, but just like living longevity. I looked up, like, yeah, like what do the people who live past 100, they're called what, centurions? Centenarians. What do they say? Like what do attribute their longevity towards? I'm curious. I looked it up.
And it's mostly the diet.
Okay, so and they're like somewhat kind of basic. First thing is staying physically active, so walking, gardening, daily chores, light work, and doing those things into older age. Eating in moderation, often traditional, mostly home cooked diets, not overeating and limiting processed food and sugar, the basic shit that we don't know that people don't like to do. Anyway, strong social ties, family closeness, community involvement, having a sense of belonging and purpose, low chronic stress. Oh, that's hard to say, Kate. Literally more. Low stress or a calm outlook. So not worrying, taking life day by day. I don't know what's really okay for many well, not smoking or quitting early, and only light or occasional alcohol at all. Lastly, the luck and genetics is also mentioned as well.
You know what I have to say about that? I think that list is more about what they do now than how they got there. I feel like most of it is really like the luck aspect of it. Like you can talk about the diet attributing to that and all that, but like when it comes to Japan, I'm thinking about the social ties too. So it's like once you get to a certain age, I feel like that's when you start qualifying yourself for that. The rest of that just sounded like regular life stuff. Feel me?
Yeah, just the pretty like basic things that we should all kind of be doing.
No, but they look
Like
the
y'all get
longest.
a chance. Oh, my bad.
No, I was just saying they look the longest with like even like interesting diet, like the Asians in general. Like you look at the things that we're warned against from taking from their communities, but you see that they have thriving people over there. And I feel like I eat most of the shit they do. I eat hella rice, eat hella noodles. Like maybe that's the key to success.
They take Texas off too.
Nah, chill. No, not all shit like that.
Remember that a lot of the people who quote unquote live that long weren't eating processed foods the way we eat processed foods, and we don't think about how much they process a lot of our foods, even the things that we are eating, quote unquote, all natural.
That's very true. Kind of harder to do it these days, especially in America. Even it's just much harder now. Unless you just work to find the local markets and things like that and make those connections. But most people are not doing that. Let's be honest. Most people aren't even going to farmers market or buying organic. Who the hell thinks they're going to go to the farm 20 miles up the road? So yeah, it's become very difficult, and I think that's been intentional and on purpose.
I'm laughing because if you're on it, you was alive like 1925, right? So the aspect of it, like 101 year in 1925. So you got to think about all the radioactive shit that people used to consume, and like how you just got lucky to not have eaten that. Like they was eating off of lead plates and all that. Everything was all good. You talk. Now we know differently. So I definitely think there's some luck involved because they were doing some wild shit. You look at it.
Peace to the room, man. I wanted to make a comment to you about, man. I just came back doing some business and I ran through YouTube, what's going on But man, once you become president, I move that we pull out of NATO. Uh, it should. I didn't even think about it. It should be NATO versus Iran. I can't believe the UK ain't sending they little two boats.
Everybody mad at America because of the Greenland.
I understand that, but World War One, two, they making some excellent points. Um, you know, it shouldn't matter who we go up against. It should be NATO. I mean, like, well, I'm glad, like, this, once again, I'm trying to just put it into words that, Trump did, once again, he just showed, maybe by accident, that he's, like, how they did us like this. Like, yeah, we should be able to call them Spain.
Why did you switch the conversation?
Right. I didn't mean to do that, but I had just heard about that. And, but no, we can talk back about China.
No, I got one question for y'all. So,
go ahead.
Do y'all think that living in the rural areas rather than city life contributes to longevity as well?
I agree it does because you're not exposed to an environment where it's like a lot of toxicity radiation. I think you have the opportunity to grow things versus being out in the city, and then as well as like binary sounds and as well as frequency is quite different from being in the city and then it is in a rural area. I've oftentimes noticed that people that live like in the mountains or outside in a rural area have more longevity and value to themselves in regards to people that are in the city. I don't know if it makes any sense.
I agree with you because I was thinking about my great grandmother and then her sister. So my great grandmother lived to be, I think she was 92 when she passed away, and she lived the city life. She grew up in the country, but she moved to the city, and that's where she raised her kids, and she died. But her baby sister, the youngest of them all, she stayed where they lived at all her life. She just passed away 2 years ago, and she was 117.
There's like illnesses that occur like that are environmental, but I feel like that's like air. There's certain things that just like in certain areas is common, like the air quality in the Midwest is completely different from the air quality on the East Coast. So I also think it plays an important factor too in regards to people's oxygen intake and as well as wellness. I don't know.
I thought the same thing as you did, but to look up the data, and it is the opposite. I love when data talks.
Can I give a reason before you read the reasons? Because I was thinking I was going to argue for the urban parlay. I think you live a little bit longer because I was just talking to one of my older neighbors too, and he's talking about how like people aren't social and stuff like that. And I think that if there's a time to be lonely, if there's a time to like go through a mental break, I'd much rather do it in a city than be rural because I went to school in a rural area for a while and like seeing how people are to themselves. A lot of people fantasize about not having neighbors and stuff like that, but when those days get cold, those nights get dark, you by yourself, it's sparse to get any interaction. I think that there's a little bit more purpose and interaction in the city. I think there's a lot more to do to stay active and keep your mind sharp and things of that nature, whether it be you trying to grow a garden that's possible in the cities. I just think there's a lot more interaction to keep you healthy. So that's my key.
Okay. Which is crazy that you said that because I was thinking the opposite. I was thinking like chronic stress in the city. Being in the city is a bit stressful. When I think of like rural, I think countryside, you're chilling, you're going by the farm with your little cow, and it seems very calm. So in the U.S., people in rural areas generally have shorter life expectancy than those in cities, not longer. So in the 2000s to 2010s, life expectancy was about 76.8 years in rural areas and 78.8 in urban areas, so about 2 years more in the city. Then rural life expectancy declined slightly while urban ones rose modestly. One 2024 life table study found 55-year-old rural men can expect about 1.6 to 1.9 fewer total years of life than suburban or urban men and women. Women show a similar but slightly smaller gap. Rural residents also have a roughly why do the urban mortality better access to feeding, better obesity management, is located in more urban and suburban areas, which makes sense. That's why there's so much grant money going towards rural areas. Like they want medical people, psychologists, they want people to move to those areas because you're not there. And those people need help, right? You can't just be the farmers over there. Well, if the farmer gets sick, who's gonna help the damn farmer? So yeah, I actually make sense that it's a struggle because you're further away from so many essential resources a lot of the time. I was also thinking that farmers is like, well, I'm specifically thinking of farmers now, but like pesticides, like chemicals and things like that, you know, that they use a lot, but that's just the farmers. But anyway,
I was also thinking, when you look at where they build a lot of these industrial places, they're starting to build them up in those rural areas where those people live at. So they're now being exposed more to toxins than we are. Running in their water and in their grounds.
I used to think to myself sometimes, though, it's a lot of chemicals being used in the city, and I wonder, have they studied these chemicals and the compounds or whatever the terminology is for it to see how it affects humans? They're constantly pouring down concrete, tar, constructing things, removing things. How do we know that all of these things aren't good for us? On top of the pollution that's coming from whatever factories or refineries are in the area where we reside. You know what I'm saying? I thought about that a lot. People in the rural areas, people that's like living off in the countryside, completely off the grid. I honestly, myself, believe that they are in a better position. I think cities are not something that it probably was cool when they first thought of it, but you know how, just like with technology, you might come out with something, you have to keep refining it and upgrading it until you get it to a point where it's like, okay, that's cool. I think a city is something like that. Like okay, we can build buildings in a city, we can do this. You know what I mean? But they never took a step back and said, okay, how can we make this better? Maybe we've done too much, right? Okay, we can build buildings and the infrastructure, but does it have to be so cramped up? Can we not spread people out farther and still be able to give them the resources they need? I don't know, but I just don't think cities are something that are, how can I say it? Something that's good for human beings. Simple as that. I don't think that's how things should go. It takes the power away from the people that participate in living in the city life. You become completely codependent on the system, right? Most people in the city don't know how to do anything outside of what they went to school for. Most people in the city don't know how to build homes. Don't even know how to chop down the tree properly. Don't know how to fucking clean water if it was necessary. Grow crops. All the things that every human being would probably know if they were not in the city. You know what I mean? These are skills and techniques that would be taught to you by the people in your village or your township. But because we're in cities and we're being educated on how to make these cities or this infrastructure run more efficiently, that's who we are. This goes back to the video we was playing the other day about Revelations when he said, will your name be attached to the machine or to the book of love? And people that's in the city, we are attaching our names to the machines.
And that's crazy that you say that because our great grandparents knew how to do pretty much everything you said, our great grandparents knew how to do. Whereas just 3 generations later, all we know how to do is go to the grocery store and ask somebody else to do it for you.
People can really pick out a ripe fruit without like going crazy. For instance, right? It's so convenient now. People don't even know how to like leave their house to go grocery shopping. Your Uber Eats and your DoorDash, and you're teaching yourself to be lazy. Whereas, like, you know, now you have to. How can I put it? What would naturally happen where you would have to go for a walk around the block to go say hi to a neighbor has now turned to a FaceTime or a chat conversation on the phone versus taking an opportunity to like actually hang out with people and actually have a social behavior. I feel like sometimes the city gives you more opportunities to be social, but I believe that being out in like the rural area gives you an opportunity to be with self and understand self. I don't think people enjoy themselves anymore, like understand themselves to capacity where they can get along with other individuals and communicate effectively without being socially awkward or missing social cues or having that self-awareness.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like, even though we all say everything in moderation, and like I feel like and circumstances should also limit that. I think it should be all city. I don't think it should just be you isolated in a cabin in the woods by yourself either. I think you need a good mix. You need some nature, but you need to be nearby resources as well. You need sometimes to be able to spend time with self and close family, immediate family, but also spend time with community, right? So it's just you need a little bit of everything, and just kind of being in just one of those things badly kind of causes you, in this day and age, for the most part, causes you to miss out on some of the benefits and perks of these other types of environments. But sometimes not. Like I know sometimes I'm in Chicago driving around, and like I see like mini gardens and things like that, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, these big playgrounds, real and stuff, right in the middle of the complex. I love it. Oh my god. So it really just depends. It depends.
I don't know, Goldie. I was born and raised in New York City. I live in the countryside now. And I actually I went out to New York to visit about 2 years ago. And I couldn't wait to get the fuck up out of there and come back to the country. It's quieter, peaceful, clean air, clean water.
You could see the stars.
For real, man. Fuck the city.
You can see the stars in the city too. Like, I don't
No,
know.
you fuck that. Stop that bullshit.
Bro, hold on. So are y'all gonna tell me that with my two own human eyes that I do not see stars in this here New York City?
Can you prove it with your logic, bro? Can you prove it with your logic?
Bro, I can show you a picture. I took this shit with my phone now.
If you can't prove it with your logic,
rural area, you can see the sky so much clearer. Like the certain stars that you can't see in the city, you can actually see when there's no other light blocking that view.
I know. I went to school in the sticks. I was very well immersed in that. I understand.
Yeah, he went to Rockford Community College up in upstate New York.
Nah, not even.
Manoa Country.
Nah, not even further up. Like,
you went up to Buffalo?
no, I went to high school in Maine, but yeah, being able to see all those things, I think it's definitely a balance that's struck, because you definitely get a social attitude, more like you could say liberal democratic attitude as far as the things that need to get done in your town. Like the city, you get your trash taken, you get your streets plowed and all that. Like if you want the streets plowed up there, you have to have a neighbor that has a plow and that's able to make it to wherever you may be. You might not even have a paved road. So I think that self-sufficiency is definitely up in rural areas to next point. But I think there is a healthy balance though, because I know people that if it's not for school or a school event, is in the crib. Oh, what'd you do this weekend? I was just in the crib.
Right.
Didn't really go play with anybody. Nah, bro, I was in the crib. So like the biggest thing for a lot of people was to be able to go and do those things. So I definitely can make a case for both of them, but I'd probably want to retire in the sticks and all that. But as far as taking a day and just going where the wind blows, you're gonna get a tumbleweed in a rural area. I feel like, whereas the city, you can have a very eventful day.
ChatGPT is I thought the same thing, but the country have bigger families than people that live in the city. So that's a benefit of being in the country. Because usually when you go to the country, any type of like country area, usually the family, like the whole street, is like family. You get what I'm saying? But in the city, they have less kids, less families.
Which is more expensive, but there's higher income. So it's like so many different things there. And then there are just, I feel like, depending on what you're doing, the city can just be more expensive, right? Like your rent, paying for parking. I feel like I assume like with more rural areas, you probably own that land, you probably own that house, y'all probably built that damn house.
Park on your lawn type shit.
Or something. So what do you say about
I said the park on your lawn type shit.
Exactly, right. Niggas paying like what, $3,000 just to park in the city, so it's like niggas can afford it as much, but that makes sense to me.
I think when it comes to cities, I don't think they're all built the same too. Like infrastructure wise, like some cities are just beginning, some are well planned, some are sprawling. Like Atlanta is like an area that you see that makes a case for urban sprawl. It's growing. It's just going outward. Whereas if you're trying to contain that area to like how you build as far as like height, typically you would go up vertically, but they're going up vertically and out to the side. So do they have a metro system like a New York does? No, but we haven't grown in the same rate. And if you look at like a Seattle, that's a blend of both. I don't think they're all cut the same, so it could be, but at least in New York's case, we have ultra residential areas where you don't have to pay to park. What you have to worry about is ultimate side parking. But to relieve that, there are people that are making spaces of that to make garages and all that. So I don't think there's a perfect answer, but some cities are worse off than others as far as whatever you're sacrificing being compensated on.
What about the necessity of emergency management? You ever notice that folks in rural areas have to call folks in the city to get rescued or emergency help? I mean, we see the footage all the time. Like, that's like a real concern. You're way out there, here comes a flood, here's an earthquake, here's a tornado, and you got to call the city to send helicopters, all kind of rescue trucks and everything to come get you. I mean, we see it all the footage all the time. I mean, there is an advantage. I mean, if you like the privacy of being out there, but there is a major disadvantage when it comes to emergency management. Like, you are at arm's length for real, for real.
Exactly. Further proximity from essential resources. Exactly. Which goes to that self-sufficiency. A lot of people move out there to be away from everything. So I feel like that takes wisdom, right? Because you're not going to move. I would hope that people are not moving out to today or to rural areas that are far from these essential services without the knowledge to care for themselves or put out a fire or do the things that you may have to freaking do because it really might not make it to you for real. Or y'all might not make it to that hospital that's 2 hours away when something major is happening, right? So I hope they're going with the skills and the knowledge to survive well. Self-sustainability.
Right. He said, she said, not going to say crime rates extremely higher in cities and way more violent crime than way less violent.
What's the statistics on that? Is it outright moving total or is it per capita? Because there's way less people in a rural area, but like per capita is a better metric.
Yeah, but they call city crime. I mean, the crime in the city they call it public crime. That's how bad it is. Y'all got like it's public crime, like in the cities. Like it just like like and then y'all it's way more violent crime. You know what I'm saying? In the city, and called public crime. It's crazy work.
You would think the way the media reports shit that we're like getting mugged every day. It's not the case though.
You got people like Epstein that lives like in the, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. Like, in city, in countries, it's smaller, you can know everybody, like, but for Epstein, like, doing stuff like that in school, you know what I mean? Like, in that area, we doing it for so long, you know what I'm saying? Not about, you know what I'm saying? He's been doing freak off for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't even, in the country, that should be over in 3 weeks.
No, I'm not gonna. I can't agree with you there because the same evil wickedness that's happening in the cities is definitely happening in the suburbs and in the rural areas as well. So because it's a smaller department and a smaller organization doesn't mean the same crimes are not being committed.
I understand what you're saying. That's why I said I checked the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like the crime rate is very much higher in the city there.
Well, yeah, because there's more people. I guess that like there's naturally more people, so I would naturally think that there would be more crime. But like, I think a lot of the just stuff like Epstein level stuff that we're talking about is more under the table anyway. Because if those numbers were actually counted for public and rural and suburban, all of those numbers would astronomically shoot up. If you counted the under the table crimes that are happening all the time, you know?
Yeah, never like, even going comical, Gotham City, Hell's Kitchen, these places in the city, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about LA.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Where was that?
Yeah, I get that, but Gotham City got multiple villains. Then you got, but to be called public crime, that's crazy work.
Hey, Don, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but you do know those places really don't exist in real life, right? Just checking. Okay. You know Gotham City's not a real place. No, they not, my man. They talking about Chicago. Niggas got that ass back. Oh, there you go. There we go. Cisco, you would know. Yo, where's Lefty at?
You tell me that when you can ride the subway 24 hours, some of the crazy people that you just the subway on. You not bringing the strap.
Man, I'm gonna be honest. If you look scary, they gonna probably do something.
They gonna take you to a book.
Nah, they know if you look like a lick though, for real. Like, I don't know how to describe that because I don't want to go into a place where I'm blaming. I don't want to get to a point. I don't want to get to a point where I'm blaming people for things happening to them. But for the most part, like, yeah, like on the train, like, they fuck with you, it's because you probably look like somebody too relevant, or you minded somebody else's business in like a crazy, egregious way, and then somebody probably gonna bark on you. But
Listen. For the record, oh my man, go ahead.
I didn't have a cat. Go ahead.
Ladies first. Don't do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I talked all day yesterday, man.
No, but I was gonna say, yeah, but like those things are like they vary across setting once again, right? I don't think you want to this conversation. Like depending on where you are, what time it is, color of your skin, you don't be on like don't be on right? Like if you in New York or Chicago, whatever, you want CTA, MTA, same bus, whatever, and it's like 2 in the morning, yeah, your head gonna feel a little I bet. I mean honestly, I'm sitting probably in any way. I know where you at. But if I, as a black woman, am in near a sundown town, driving in my little car, and I got to stop for some gas, where my head also be in a motherfucking swivel? Absolutely so. Will I also need that same block that you were saying that they would need in Chicago or New York? Absolutely so. I think it just depends on where you are, what's going on. It's context.
Yeah, so for context, listen, Gotham City, Chicago, Metropolis is supposed to be New York City. So, get your facts straight.
No, Gotham is New York, man. What the hell?
Listen to this dumbass. Listen to this dumbass.
Yo, he was there when they created Superman.
I was there. When they created, when them two Jew niggas was sitting out there, they turned around like, yo, Puff, what do you think? I was like, man, this shit sounds like a fucking winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Let it rack. Gotham City is Chicago. That's where Batman is from. Metropolis. Listen to the name Metropolis. Is the city where all skyscrapers are at, and that's where Superman is from. That's where the Daily Planet is at. It's supposed to be New York.
The Ninja Turtle movie. Oh, damn, Philly. All these cities you talking about is extremely dangerous, bro. It's extremely dangerous. You really trying to say that, like, you really LA, name of city, you trying to say that where you ain't gonna leave without the strap. In 2020. I want to say AI climate cities, New York, nigga. I'm talking about, man. Those
you asked AI this thing, I swear.
Man, I've been in a bunch of cities, I'm saying, man. Every time I hopped out, man, I got cool up, man. But like, if you go to Lake Charles, Louisiana, bro, like I'm saying, you never heard that. Guess what? You strap it. You strap it. You know what I'm saying? Go and get your little, your burger, whatever, at night or whatever. But as far as New York City, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Philly, like, man,
I just want to speak for New York, man. You don't need to do all that, bro. I'm just saying.
Hey, Cisco, what do you think, man? What do you think? What do you think about what that last?
Real muggers. You got people that probably been muggers.
You got muggers, Cisco?
Like, yeah, muggers. We don't have muggers. Like, y'all got real muggers.
You're starting to confuse guess I can say you also got mugged. And I look like the mugger. So I don't know. Maybe I did. So maybe I need something. Real burger. He made me do 20 push-ups just because he thought I mugged his ass.
What do you got to say to that, Bob?
You got things called night crawlers. You got people, they butchers. You know what I mean? They got infamous real names. Look, Ice. You know, Ice chop preacher. Ice chop fingers off. You got dope men that's you got people like Kingpin. You got, you know what I'm saying? These are major figures. Like I said, when I went up there by Griff, when it was Portland, Seattle, Denver, you know what I'm saying? Colorado, man, bro, walk the street, and it'd be like, and if you legal, you be like, I'm a not, we got New Orleans, but like that's New Orleans, and you can still make, you know, but man, y'all got super violent crime, like nuts.
Who do you think says
Ward City there. You got Ward City in New Orleans.
Yeah, we got one damn city. The rest of Louisiana.
I don't know about
Do you get pressed like that to have to need to strap every city you go to, or you just like fantasize about something happening? Because I can't imagine every city you go to you get pressed like that. Just anybody, not just you, but just
you're supposed to check in when you go to those cities.
Like when you about the cycle, you know, y'all got real psycho, like you know, mental, real mental. You got jokers and shit, like punching, running around, jumping on people.
Just go to Compton by yourself and shit.
Oh,
Who's that guy that got killed up in Compton? PNB, whatever his name is.
Man, the goddamn, you can't eat burger.
Full of his jewelry and shit. He thought he was styling and shit. It's okay.
Let's see the visit. I think these spots are great. Go there, you know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. It's gonna change you. Like you move from the country, you move to the city, like it's gonna change you in 30 days. Yeah. Motherfuckers don't care about me every day.
Using their powers, man. Like, you don't know how using their power.
The Ghostbusters.
They're not using their DNA. Tell them about the DNA.
Y'all keep trying to say that being around nature or nature is a downfall to being around concrete rectangular buildings. Like you said, I think somebody said that terrorists walking around with nothing but energy vampires.
You're supposed to be hugging trees and shit all day around the hill.
Fear-bound, walk around staff feet and you down in the city. See, that's reverse propaganda, man. Make you move out there. When you move out there, you ready to lead it.
I got this as Oscar when you try to get some shoes.
But the corridor. Think about the corridor, man. Come on, man. How many floors is the corridor? How many floors is the project, the corridor building?
Man, the fuck y'all niggas talking about?
Like 50 floors, straight deep.
Talk about you gotta call in when you go to those big cities, man.
Oh, y'all niggas be having to check in?
Play some pimpin', man.
My ass shit talking rich bastard.
These niggas making it
Detroit.
That's crazy. Why y'all letting him do y'all like that?
These niggas don't like when the real nigga talk something.
Nah, D, I was just asking. I'm like, niggas really be sharing their location with niggas when they come to town? Like, that's their wife and shit?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's what Dollar and Cisco be doing, bro.
Yeah,
They be checking it.
like that.
You know you checking and stuff.
Is Dollar and Cisco out?
Dollar and
I've been
Cisco
waiting
be
for
checking it.
waiting on them to get a podcast, man.
Yeah, so D, next time they come down to Houston, D, you already know.
I ain't in Houston. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do out of Houston, man. From Dallas.
Oh, well, shit.
Nah,
When they come down
I'm
to
saying.
Dallas, there you go. They better check in with D, goddammit.
So yeah, they gonna have to check in with me.
That's right.
You gotta check in with Birdman. Man, you ain't gotta check in with him.
I check in with New Orleans mayor, man. I don't check in with y'all motherfucking birds, man. Fuck all that shit.
You gotta do what I said.
I'm next nigga.
You ain't checking in with Dollar?
Nah, you gotta check in with
You ain't checking in with Dollar?
You good. I can't control
You was checking in with Dollar.
I check in with Congress when I go out there.
Oh.
Talking about
Why does Birdman call himself Beatrice?
Let's check in.
Because he a bitch.
Oh.
What?
Because any man calling themselves a bitch name is a bitch.
Nigga, is that the most annoying Canadian kid in all of the entire goddamn world? Call fucking Kylie. Nigga, I know that ain't Kylie.
Maybe
I be wanting to
he
choke
thinks,
that little nigga, man.
maybe he thinks that he's.
Oh, you a dangerous. Oh, Julie Charles. You a dangerous territory.
Caillou was a future school shooter.
Oh, that girl. I see. Damn.
Hey, ain't that a cancer patient, bro?
Stop. Don't.
Caillou don't got cancer. Caillou just a
He won't hell, just like Little Bill.
Nah, DJ, they basically just say bald-headed children just bad as fuck.
What child is that age is still bald, bro?
Hey,
He bald and bad as
damn. So that means this nigga DJ talking shit about Caillou and Lil Bill because those are the only two bald-headed niggas.
Got cancer, bro.
Caillou is the goddamn.
Somebody look it up. Ask if they
That's fucked up. Don't get it.
No, I think it was right. He was right.
Why they can't have
Fucking
alopecia?
soft ass parents.
Nah, Caillou and Lil Bill just have high levels of testosterone. That's why they lost their hair, right?
That's what that little nigga is. He's a pug. He needs to get his ass whooped.
that bitch shit.
Caillou is a nigga. He one of them little niggas that don't need a gun. He's a future school shooter.
Alopecia.
Hey, Wayne World was born. The nigga got alopecia.
Yeah, he definitely was. You talking about Wayne Head, the big head ass nigga with the fucking up lip?
Didn't Wayne have like a metal boot or some shit, bro?
Hey, yo,
Yeah, he did.
DJ, it said Caillou is a long-standing urban myth that Caillou had cancer. No, it's just a design choice by the creators.
Told you that nigga ain't had cancer. He just bad as fuck.
I don't believe it.
That's what it's
Out there. Everybody badass child, like they got some type of sympathy for his ass. Like he can take a trip to the hospital.
Nigga, I be choking that little nigga out. That's the fuck I would be doing.
Usually your parents don't stress, but he's so bad that he'd start losing hair.
Nigga, there was an episode where this nigga took, what was that? I think he took all the condiments and all of the shit in the kitchen. This nigga poured it all out. And Dad, who's a fucking stay-at-home loser, comes and goes, "Oh no, Caillou." I was like, "Oh no, Caillou, nigga, fuck, you gonna die, Caillou. That's what the fuck is about to happen, nigga."
So y'all don't see Caillou and Lil Bill as y'all representation?
I would have killed his ass right
Y'all don't
on the
see
day.
that as representation?
It would have been murder, death, kill up in that goddamn kitchen, girl. That's
That nigga be like, I don't give a fuck.
Right. Give a fuck about these nuts, man. Grab this belt, nigga, to that ass. Come here, bitch. Yeah, you get on that little school shit.
Hey, you gotta look at my PTR. The nigga was ready. He
was on this right, so.
That nigga probably seen somebody talking to his little sister. That's what it was.
He got his daddy good.
Yeah, I know his sister got more hair than him, but he's older than his sister. What the fuck is going on here?
Nah, that nigga don't got his daddy's gun. Caillou got his own gun. His daddy a bitch.
You just proving the point about the cities, man. You damn right. Little kids can go get a gun from in the city. Little kids get all the guns they want.
Hey, look.
38 with the tape, duct tape around there.
Hey, man, my man was a stay-at-home dad trying to do his best. Man, what he supposed to do? What was he supposed to do? Tell his wife to stay and she making more money than him?
Just because niggas ain't figured out how to get money at home, that's I can't be shaming niggas. Like, maybe he was selling feet pics online.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's a fact, BG. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So you saying Caillou got the generational curse? It was like, they were so fucked up. The nigga born with no hair.
Niggas deep in the bondage and shit.
Man, he got both his parents, and he had like a good.
Nah, hold on, dollar. You know all the shooters is niggas in a 2-parent household.
That's right. You want to be trans?
Not a trans what? A trans gangster?
I don't know. Just when they be like Nashville or something.
Be a trans baby.
Yeah, they be
a trans gangster is like a homo thug. Like they look like thugs, but they really freaky on the low.
It's like a Taylor.
Before I even cut this bitch on, who on the game right now, bro?
Damn, I'm at work.
I'm at the studio, but I'm at the Speak Easy, but I got my portal with me. But if ain't nobody on that bitch, I'm not shit.
I need to get me a portal, dog.
Speak Easy. This nigga is 1920 shit with this bitch.
Motherfucker, this my shit. This my
1932 shit. What's going on here, nigga? You got Tommy guns over there?
Just a lot of weed. I got one gun.
Hey man, listen, whatever y'all see Doc and Brown, tell them niggas, man, they ain't about that life. I'm still waiting for these niggas to do smoke off. None of them niggas hit me up. Where the weed at?
Bro, hey, pull up.
Where the weed at, man?
Bro, come, we can set up a whole event. We can sell tickets, whatever. We got to smoke out our whole spot, bro. I got the weed too.
Niggas fly down to Florida.
Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale.
You catch a quick Southwest flight.
Deep or shallow?
Quick $80 to fly down there and back.
Actually, we do events every Tuesday and Saturday. Thursday and Saturday here.
Yeah, BG Duck, they caught him at the Gucci stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, when most of my people come in town, I just get them fucking weed anyway, bro. Yeah, that shit be dirt fucking cheap.
This nigga Brown and Doc was talking about how they be growing that. We growing that cooking.
Yeah, I said it was dirt fucking bro.
That's what you be giving the niggas, that dirt shit. I fuck with it.
No. Fuck, trust me, it ain't no Florida weed, bro. Not at all. But shit, I had ran out and I had went to I was like, shit, give me a 7. That shit was 30, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, you gonna pay what I pay type shit. And like, when I get units, it's even less than that. That's what I'm telling you. It's gonna be.
Yeah, when you walk in that motherfucker, you buy bulk. That motherfuckers love you. They be throwing you the kitchen.
Bro, I just got to meet motherfucker asked me that I want 1,000 units, bro. You feel me?
Only problem I have is that by law, I think Colorado, you can't buy more than 2 O's.
Who the fuck cares about that? Yeah, look. Let me tell you, it's at a purchase period. You can walk out and go back in most cases.
I would
I can understand why we
see that right? Alabama basketball player just got caught with 2 pounds.
Yeah. But they say he not gonna play though. They say that he not gonna play. But is weed is marijuana even legal in the state of Alabama outside of Alabama?
Down south they moving backwards with the weed.
They ain't nothing compared to like
Bobby, because the only clan they acknowledge is Cotton.
Nah, but that's crazy, bro, because I fuck with hoops, right? Like, nah, not to that. That's crazy, too, but I fuck with hoops, so I watch from every level. You telling me a nigga that got caught with 2 pounds that's really not harming nobody can't play, but Brandon Miller was an accessory to murder and was still able to ball.
And actually go on the first round.
Bro, niggas was saying that it's alleged that they thought about him being on trial or potentially having to go to trial for this shit, being an accessory to murder, would shake him up. And they were saying that his mental resilience led to him being picked so high. Remember, they was talking about who was going to be the number 1 pick between, was he Wemby's here?
Think so.
Wemby, Scoot. Exactly, you forgot about that one. Which one is worse to the average player?
The Brandon Miller joint is worse, but then it's like, it's kind of weird because, well, that's funny because it's like his gun that he gave to somebody, you know, was led to the murder of an individual. So it's like, well, damn.
But it was their gun, bro. Like, it wasn't like Brandon Miller gave him Brandon Miller's gun to go kill somebody else with. Nah, the gun was bros.
Yeah, I'm just saying, and they were trying to put 2 pounds of weed, and then it's like you're an Alabama player. To me, I feel like I wish G was in here. He could be honest with us, but you know, Alabama's still with the shits.
Alabama, the state is like that, bro. Like is shit not sweet and salt, bro. Just because the country niggas be thinking like, no, like even you gotta look at how they even fucking recruit the niggas who they bring in. Like Detroit chose some of them niggas on our team. Like Alabama brings in crash out niggas that ball. Just so you clear.
Nah, but you know
also the state of Alabama is not a fuck around place either. It's not.
Did he get distribution?
Nah, you know,
like
probably possession.
No, if you over a certain amount, they will bring manufacturer and distribution charges in on that.
Yeah,
so I was trying to say because if he's getting caught, well, you know, most of the time these athletes, the only way they usually get caught, because one, you got a flashy ass car. You're in a typical, even the white dudes be in it. Even they be in a typical nigga car, which is like, you know, Hellcat, Scanback, you know, Jones, and then you driving above the speed limit and you hot. Why would you, if you hot, why are you driving above the speed limit?
Johnny Manziel said they don't think, man, we white out. They after every game. Man, it's only got smoke. Shit. You know?
Shit, Alabama pull you over in the Kia Soul, nigga. What rapper just got pulled over in the Kia Soul? I'll find a link for it and post it.
They just find a scale. Like, if they find a scale, they gon' hit you with distribution.
And why would you be driving around with a scale? That's their question. They're gonna ask you. That's a good question. It's like
that's paraphernalia. Yeah. You got pounds in your car. You don't need a scale. I can tell you.
But then,
a medical card.
Yeah, a little bag scale.
But listen. So that means.
Hold on. I was trying to hear what next I said. Can you repeat that, bro?
No, I was gonna say technically though, when you in a state like mine, that you got a medical card, you could technically have a scale because you only allowed to buy a certain amount in a certain tier for 30 days. So if you had your scale, you can. This is my medicine. I can't overdose on it or not give myself enough, officers. It has to be right on point. You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Nah, but remember, more than likely, like I said, so these young athletes, they drive crazy. So you giving the police reasoning to pull you over, and then more than likely I'm not saying that every cop is not a bad cop, but if a motherfucker pull up to your window and you roll your shit down and it's dank, what do you expect? You can't be driving reckless and think that, you know, just because you're a star athlete that nobody like this. It's not the same time that we once lived in before.
Can I ask one question real quick? Is there a barometer or like a gauge that they can see like how high you are off of Earth? Like, you know how to do a liquor? Like, is there something that they can use and see like?
I mean, they do a DWI test.
They got
test
right on the side of the road.
Yeah, they got tested for it now, bro.
That's how a lot of shit is
how
not
much marijuana's in your body? So can no marijuana be in your system while you're
It's not even about the no marijuana, bro. It's like, bro, you understand a traffic stop.
No, I know that. I was just asking that question, but yeah, I get what you.
Yeah, so if you want, yeah, so exactly, if you smell that shit, and then it's like, man, you might say like I got a J or a little something, but remember they in Alabama, so once you gave them the ability to smell that shit, now they feel like they got the right to search your shit. So search this shit and found 2 pounds. But
they just got they done big.
But remember, you got to get pulled over first. What would cause the police to pull you over?
Nigga, all they need is probable cause.
Can you have 2 pounds in your crib, or you just can't travel with the 2 pounds?
It depends on the state you're in. You have 5 pounds you in. Because 2 pounds, if you're in a recreational state, yeah, if you're in a state, no. Technically, no. That's over the limit. That's something that people are saying the market. Depending on what your state laws are, that shit. You ain't supposed to have like 2 ounces, right? Like no more than that. That's what you're outside. Depending on your state, bro. I think that's my state is less. Yeah, it depends. Because we can have like 6 ounces on us, like 4 to 6 ounces.
I think in Ohio,
man, it literally says Alabama.
You have to get a license.
Alabama says any amount is a criminal offense. Medical cannabis is legal, but patients are limited to 70-day supply, not a specific ounce amount. So any form of marijuana is illegal in the state of Alabama.
Man, that's true. What I'm talking about up here. That 70-day supplies, like when you go into a medicinal dispensary, okay, you might see this bud right here, you really like it, and it's top tier. They're gonna say, okay, this is 4.5 days. Why you buy an ounce of this? You see what I'm saying? So if you buy 70 days worth, whatever the limit is, then you have to wait a full another 70 days before you can go back in and purchase more.
But isn't there some kind of a shit where you're just like, I'm thinking about it. If you say 7-day supply and you don't.
No, 70.
What is up? No, 70. Yeah, 70. Right. So if you have a 70-day supply, are you telling me that it's up to my dosage? Because I'm gonna be like, bro, I smoke like an ounce a day. So an ounce a day times 70.
They gonna tell you need to ration your shit
out. It's the point system. It's a point system. So when you go to dispensary, say if it's milk and cookies in the medical dispensary, right? And they say, okay, 1 ounce of this is worth 4 days out of your total 70 days. So if you keep buying top tier ounces, you're only gonna walk out with a certain amount, and then you're gonna have to wait 70 days. Because now if you get tier 1 tree, they might say an ounce of this is worth 1 day. You know what I mean? So you can get a bunch of that. You know what I'm saying? But most people are gonna try to go for the best of the best. Though it might be 4 or 5 days, it might be 6 days, but you gotta then do the math on that and 70 and see how many sips of that you can get out of that. But you gotta remember you can go back for 70 days once you max out.
I stopped selling weed because one time my mom I could spend it down the street. That's why I stopped selling pounds and shit out of my shit. Yeah, I'm done with that shit. Loud, man. Serious, that shit went 2, 3 pounds. Before that shit. I mean, I get the vacuum seal out, but eventually you will bust open. And then he start cheating me, and man, that was she told me was like box man down the street. Damn.
Hey, but you can get that medical card over the phone. It's easy to get a medicinal card.
I'm like getting your gun rights. You can't have a gun in medical.
I'm saying for people in states that's up against that, it don't take shit to get a medical card. I'm telling you, you'll be on the phone with somebody for like 7 minutes. And then they're going to send you a link. You pay your state. Most likely it's going to be anywhere from like 70 to 125 bucks, and you got it. You ain't got to go see no doctor. They don't have to see you in person. It's real easy to get a medical card for weed. Really is. They coached me into this shit over the phone. He was like, if you have any type of back pain or have you ever experienced the inability to eat unless you smoke weed? Like, he was telling me like a said, yeah, man, I have back pain a lot. He said, me too.
Yeah, I got all of that shit, bro.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you're overqualified. So now what you do is I want you to click on that link. That's going to take you to the state website. I want you to process that payment in about an hour. You're going to get an email with a digital version of your card. You go to any medical dispensary store, and they'll print out a physical copy for you if you need it. I ain't have to go see nobody. One phone call.
Yeah, depression. You can just say, hey, I'm depressed, man. They give you medical. Just like, but out here, you can't have a gun. You can't legally have a gun. You know what I'm saying?
You circle back to this fucking gun every time.
No, that's a real issue though for some people, and that's an issue in a lot of states because if you have a medical card, like, and you have this, like one of my homies out here, he got both.
Those cards expire.
Both of those things on him at the same time.
The medical marijuana cards expire.
Yeah, every year you gotta renew it, but it'll be the same price.
It's a few years in Michigan. It's not every year in Michigan.
But see, in my state and in Michigan, because you have the ability to carry your gun in recreational, now I can have my weed and my gun legally. I don't need a card.
Well, you know, now thinking about it.
Yeah, especially like constitutional carry states. Like, if you just got cannabis and you ain't, if you a constitutional carry state and you recreational, like, you living sweet, man.
In Pennsylvania, I have my gun license before I got my medical card, so I'm allowed to have both. Like, you can't have the one before the other. That's like a law. Governor Wolf, like, right around the pandemic, before they got him up out of there, that's one thing he changed law-wise in Pennsylvania. But if you not have no medical and then go get no gun license, yeah, they'll hand you a whip.
I wonder if it's the same with the assault rifles. Or like a shotgun. Remember I was telling y'all I'm going back to shotguns? I'm gonna check on that.
What's an assault rifle, man?
AR.
So, I'm gonna drop a link in the chat for one of my favorite ARs. It's gonna be one of my next buys. It's
baby ARs.
This shit, no, bro. Y'all niggas be trying to buy Dracos and shit. Like, I need to be able to aim and hit shit, bro. Like, I'm trying to help you out a little, man. So just give me a second, alright?
Yeah, I had a fan CJ. I sold that thing. So I ain't like I had a shotgun.
I want a standard M4. That's my next.
I bought my first shotgun, man. When the laws in my shit, they put I cut the barrel on that bitch, man. They put the triple, man. They put double dick. You can't have it. This is legal.
Hey, I just put it in the chat. So this is an AR. I believe the length is probably like 7.5, but the barrel actually folds in half and it compresses. So it literally, the barrel folds and it has a stock. But this is small enough to fit into a fucking fanny pack and it's an AR. I seen one of these bitches in person and I just found out about the company. So like, I just seen him at the gun show the other day. I want this bitch. I'm gonna get it. I already sent it to my gunmaker. So he's looking for the pieces right now for me. He about to build out my lower and I'm buying the upper from them.
You thought you ain't nothing like building it yourself from scratch. You care about it more.
Well, I mean, what's wrong with it? Who do you send it to? Back to that dude?